World Series back in Canada for the first time since 1993. Dodgers heavily favored on paper, but Gary, that's why the game's not played on paper. Played on artificial turf.
That's good writing.
Thanks to a 9-run sixth inning, which, of course, considering the exchange rate, factoring the tariffs, it's a 9-run sixth inning. Toronto takes game 1, and we take it on the field. With the Baseball Tonight crew, Kevin Connors. Take it away.
On tonight, the World Series returned to Toronto for the first time in 32 years. The province of Ontario, the nation of Canada, leaves happy after an 11-4 Game 1 win. Welcome into Rogers Center from the World Series with Hall of Famer Tim Kurkjian and Eduardo Perez. Kevin Connors here with you. More star power on the Dodgers, yes, but 1 through 9, Eduardo, that Blue Jays lineup is relentless. They had the leadoff man on in the 2nd, 4th, 5th, and 6th innings tonight. What stands out about the way they work at bats?
Contact, and it's not only in play, it's contact also with foul balls. They added and continue to put pressure on Blake Snell. He threw 100 pitches, 22 of them were foul balls, 9 came from Alejandro Kirk. He was the reason why the bullpen had to get their
grand slam in the history of the World Series. And so, Eduardo, it sets up Game 2. Yamamoto and Gausman, advantage whom?
Advantage, I would say, you look at the Dodgers with Yamamoto, but he has to be able to be the Yamamoto that we saw in the wild card in the DS and the CS. If he's able to neutralize that offense, you can expect at least 6 outs from the bullpen. But if you're asking for more than 6 outs, that's where you get yourself in trouble. Then advantage goes to the Toronto Blue Jays.
And Gausman has pitched very well in the postseason, and of course his best pitch is a split. And the Dodgers didn't do particularly well against Trey Savage's split. They're going to see an even better one from Gausman, and he's going to probably throw it more often.
On tonight, the Blue Jays scored the 2nd most runs in a single inning in the history of the World Series. They take a 1-0 series lead. Game 2 from Toronto here tomorrow night. From inside Rogers Center, this building was rocking as we sent it back to SportsCenter.
Hat tip to John Schneider, the way he managed Game 1, pulling the right punches and putting in the right players at the right time, pinch hitting. The Dodgers allowed just 4 runs in the entire NLCS combined. They allowed 9 runs in the 6th inning of Game 1. Blue Jays scored the most runs in a World Series inning since the 1968 Tigers as Toronto takes Game 1 11-4, their first win in a World Series game since 1993 when they last won the World Series in their franchise some 11,689 days ago, if you're a huge days guy. All right, back here with Bobby V, Will Middlebrooks, and Lewis Brinson. And Bobby, I don't think we saw this coming. A 9-run 6th inning. Your reaction to what unfolded there for the Blue Jays in that inning?
Well, I think the Blue Jays could have been behind by a lot of runs by the time they got to the 6th inning, but they weren't. They held them to just 2 runs, and then they ignited. They ignited with Bo Bichette leading the team off with a big walk after a real long inning, right, by Snell the inning before. So now he's 6 more pitches into that fatigueness, if you will, and then the dams opened up.
Well, this was something that I didn't see coming. I don't think you saw coming into this game. We didn't think the Blue Jays were going to hang 11 on the board in Game 1. Just your initial thoughts of how that game played out.
We didn't see it coming, but maybe we should have. Right. It's just more of the same. You said 4 strikeouts against a Dodgers pitching staff that's been punching out. I think a lot of people did, but also we talk about, I mean, before the game, the Blue Jays offense is a juggernaut this postseason. I mean, again, we didn't see them putting up 11 runs, but I saw them keeping up with the Dodgers at least. But that 9-run 6th inning, and like you said, Bobby V, big at bat by Bo Bichette leading off. He gets pinch ran for, and then just fouling off pitches, being the pesky offense that they've been all postseason, man. If you're the Dodgers, are you a little in the back of your mind? You come into this series feeling good. You're the Dodgers. You're loaded. You have all this pitching. They beat your guy.
They did.
Yeah. They crushed them. They got into the pin, which we talked about, what you had to do to beat these guys. Yeah. Are you a little worried? Are you sitting back going, uh-oh, maybe we met our match? Yeah. Maybe we're gonna shock. They're going to shock the world here.
Well, I almost wonder, too, Bobby, did Dave Roberts get a little too confident? Did he get a little too cocky? Because he was, by my estimation, outmanaged in this game by John Schneider, who's managing in his first World Series game. You're going to Emmett Sheehan, the youngster, who's a very good major league pitcher. But in this situation here, with the bases loaded, what did you make of that move?
Well, I think he had him up in the 5th, thinking maybe he should start the 6th, that he's second-guessing himself right now, that he didn't start the 6th. You bring in a young guy with a clean inning and no one on base, you give him a chance in his first World Series. You guys, Lewis, you guys said it, Willie, before the game. Hey, if you get into this Dodger pen, you're going to have big trouble put on the faces of the Dodgers. And I thought after 84 pitches in 5 innings, Snell should have been gone. Yeah. I thought that was enough. He was trying to squeeze a little water out of a rock, and there wasn't anything there.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I get bringing in the righty, Springer, obviously, and then you have Guerrero. So you don't want to bring in Banda because of that.
Yep.
But Banda at least has postseason experience. He was there last year on that team. He was there with them on that run. Bringing in a rookie, making his postseason debut with the bases chucked in that atmosphere.
One of those things, I'm going to show confidence in my pitcher. I know he needs my confidence. He has 2 guys on. He can get out of this. Bases loaded. Whoops, what do I do now? You have to be prepared. When you're not prepared, that stuff happens. And I think one time Dave Roberts just wasn't prepared for that situation.
Look, I was very confused by this move, and I was talking about it with you guys. Was Dave Roberts, again, not giving this game to the Blue Jays, but in that instance, in that spot, did he really think, no disrespect to Sheehan, he's a big league pitcher, he's pitching in the World Series for the Dodgers, but did he really think that Sheehan was going to come in, no outs against this Blue Jay offense that had a bunch of momentum? You could see the momentum building, everybody on the field, anybody in the dugout. You can see this momentum building. Did he really think that Sheehan was going to come in and get him out of that inning?
I think he trusted him. I think he thought he could get the outs with the right-handed bats that were coming up. He didn't want to go the lefty with those big righties that can hit the ball in the 3rd deck in that place. So we had to make a choice there.
Right.
And to your point, yeah, maybe you just give up a couple runs and you move on. He didn't expect the wheels to fall off like that.
Not like that, but I mean, I'm very confused by the move. Again, you bring a young guy in that situation. They are very thin, but you bring in a young guy in that situation. I didn't understand what he what he really thought right there.
Lewis, you and Will are young guys. You've played in this analytic era. You hear all about everything's worked out before the game.
Yeah.
We have everything figured out. This wasn't on the plan. It wasn't Snell leaving the game with bases loaded and no outs and bringing in the rookie pitcher. That was not a plan. And then when you're not prepared, you get bit.
Yeah, that's the confusing part because, okay, you bring in Emmett Sheehan there, but it's Emmett Sheehan to face Ernie Clement, who's putting bat on ball. He's hitting over 440 this postseason. Yeah. So to me, it's not